This is David. Dave, welcome to my YouTube channel. And while I am still thinking on in regards to the Western Digital My Book World Edition White Light 3 terabyte upgrade enclosure, I thought I might do a quick video or a series of smaller videos on something else that I also want to bring your attention to. So in the later videos that will come out of this one, I'll be testing various electrical appliances that need to work on AC voltage, therefore alternating current. The voltage will be the one that is matched on your wall socket, 220 volts. And some of these appliances will be regular fans, others will be industrial type fans, and then some smaller induction motors, and then various pumps or motors from dishwashers or washing machines and similar. The testing that I'll be doing will be through this device here, this black boxy thing. And what this is a Variac. It comes from the family of auto transformers. It's basically a variable transformer, but more on that you can just simply look at the link in the description box for a brief introduction on how this works. You can also use your search engine and type in Variac or auto transformer and learn a little bit more about this device, on how it operates and how to use it, and so forth. So this isn't something that I built myself. Even though I made minor modifications to it in order to make it more safe for further use. Actually, this was something that was made by my father. I don't know, maybe 10-15 years ago. I'm terrible with dates. He basically combined everything, the actual auto transformer that is inside, with a couple of other smaller things, the wiring, and put everything in this enclosure that you'll see. The front and the back mask and everything else. My contribution, which was done about, I don't know, 2 months ago, was that I changed the primary 2-strand output cable. This is the cable to which you would attach your appliance that you want to test. I changed the cable in order to install a 3-strand cable, therefore adding grounding, because when you're testing, everything has to be safe, and grounding is very important. This is something that wasn't originally present when my father built it. Additional tools that I'll be using in the future experiments or videos, of course, always need a screwdriver. This one is also great because it has a small bulb inside, so you can see whether the voltage is present or not. Then you have this set of alligator clips. Probably won't be needing so many, maybe just one pair, but it's always good to be stocked up. And then on the left side, I have my multimeter with testing leads. This is the one. This is actually the first multimeter that my father bought for me, also several decades ago, 15 years ago or so. Very accurate. At the time it was very accurate, but now it's just mainstream accurate, if you want to call it. The bad side is it can't measure AC amperage or AC current, but nevertheless, for the presentations that I'll be doing in the future, it will just suit my needs very well. And in my last bag of tricks, I have a couple of 2-strand cables inside. Some have these special connectors which are then attached to other appliances who have such couplings. I don't know how much I'll be using this in the future videos, but this is something that comes with the Variac itself. This would be the front side of the Variac, you could say the front mask, you have this quite improvised turning knob, which you turn clockwise in order to increase the AC voltage to the desired parameter or limit that you want to test your appliance. So you see it turns nicely and freely. You have the side angle and the other surface. Right here at the bottom you have two Phillips screws that attach this top housing onto the lower plate. And this is the back side of the Variac. This is the AC power cable. This one would go into your AC extension cable or your AC wall socket. There isn't an on or off switch, so when you plug this Variac in, it immediately starts working. So it's good that you have the knob turned right down to 0 volts, so you won't get electrocuted. Now this white cable right here would be the one where you would actually attach your appliance to, or electrical device, and test it on the Variac itself. Originally, as I mentioned previously, this cable was only 2-strand, meaning it only had 2 wires, but I added a one which has 3 wires, therefore ground. I don't know why my father left this out, but this makes testing much more safer for the actual user of this Variac. Also in the back, right over here, you have a compartment where you would put in the fuse or change it if it would blow out for some reason. So that's also a very good, nice feature. The only thing missing on the front side, like somewhere around here, would be a nice LCD display showing you the voltage, because you have to use the multimeter in order to help yourself out in this way. So that would be also very practical. And of course, a nice on and off switch as well. But nevertheless, still. Now for the last part of this video or presentation, I'm going to unpack everything from this bag and connect the Variac into the AC extension cable that you see on your upper right side of the screen. And then I'm going to insert the testing leads of my multimeter into this connector, and then we'll play around a little bit with the knob, turning it into various positions to see how the voltage rises and to show you that this works. The Variac is plugged in, up and running. I have already connected the AC main power cable into the extension cord, and here the other side of the cable, this is where the AC voltage will be generated, has already been connected into this medium element, to which I have connected my multimeter probe leads. Polarity here doesn't matter. The only thing that's important is where you set the multimeter to measure the voltage, on which scale, and I'll show you that when I zoom in the camera a little bit. I've set it in the range of 750 volts. This is the AC voltage measuring range. I've set it to this scale because I'm not really sure how high this Variac can generate AC voltage. It's always best that you choose a higher scale than a lower one and overshoot or burn out, destroy some component in your multimeter, even though these nowadays, of course, they come very cheap on eBay, but nevertheless. So now it's only a thing that I start turning this improvised knob clockwise, and we'll see how high we can go on this scale. Now I'm going to start turning the knob to see what is the maximum output generated AC voltage that this Variac can produce. pay attention to this hole in the knob, because this will be a good indicator when we will go around to see when we will start nearing the upper limit of the scale that this Variac has. Now this would be the AC voltage that is available in across the Atlantic in the US, 110 or 15 volts. So we have almost reached half a circle on the dial, and we're almost at 220 volts. Yeah, this is it. Let's see how far can we go. 250. So did you hear that noise? So this is the limit. 318 can also go, I think, up to 20. So let's say 320 volts AC being the maximum and 1 volt AC being the minimum side. We've come towards the end of this video presentation on this variable transformer or Variac that I have. This is something, you probably already figured it out by now. This is something that I'm not selling because it has just simply too much value, but it will be a main component when I'll be testing various electrical appliances that run on AC voltage in the future videos that I'll be producing. So I thought it would be a great idea to make a short video presentation on this machine to show you a little bit about it, the basics, how to run it, what to be careful, and so forth. On the LCD screen of the multimeter, I left you a nice Freemasonic number for you to think about. This is David telling you goodbye, and we'll see you in the next video. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the comment section.